Hello to everyone, this is Vishal and hope all are doing good. So first I am thankful for your appreciations, your commands that I try to solve. Because of here I am after a long time a little busy schedules. But we can say that a bit better be late than never. And so we continue this tour again and a lot of videos in my coming sessions. We have to complete that and uh, as you know that in my previous tutorials we have learned lot of things just related to your MVVM approaches and we can see that on the view models and the live data, mutable live data, room. So these are new technologies in Android we have work and now uh, we have a sessions related to the dagger, but some task we basic task we need to see that how the dagger works and if you want to see that on my previous tutorial of the daggers you learn how we can apply the daggers and what is the basics of the daggers. So the most important concept in my coming videos I will describe to you that's with the multi bindings and how the these your view model classes be work with that multi binding. So that's with the approaches we have to learn. So continue, we have a three videos related to this and today I just simply describe to you the basics of ViewModelFactory. So what is the ViewModelFactory and how we can accomplish this task? What is the basics of this and how we build it? So that's the simple scene of the day and on the next video I will describe how to map and set this uh, simply on your dagger and then we combined both the things your view model factories and that mapping so can we can make if you have a many complex view models be there so we apply a simple dagger and then solve that task. So just continue the tour of my three videos one by one. So today I just simply describe what is view model factory. So if you see that on my previous tutorial of the MVVM approach, we have two kind of view models. One is if you extend the base observable, that's the old way, and also we have whenever we have to extend the view model class. So when you simply use the base observable, what you say that's you simply say view model, that's new view model, and you work on that. And whenever we use the view model class when we extend the view model class if you don't know those are new related to the view model, so first learn what is the basics of the view model, how we extend the view model and how we can call the things be there. So that's an important. Okay, so whenever we work with the view model class we extend the view model class as and we use the view model providers for that to get access. Uh, but these kind of view model classes always be that is the instance we have nothing be on a parameter. That means we never pass anything on this. But sometimes our view model be very complex and we have some repository be there and we want to call it and we can say that we have to pass that repository parameter from the sides of the main activity, that is especially in the case of dagger. So then on that cases we can use this view model factory approaches, that is the basics of that. Okay, so as you see that we have a repository and we have a view model class and the main activity. We just simply put it as in a view model providers, this and our class, and we can get access the things. So if we need parameter constructors of the view model class and we want to send any repository parameters be there, so what to do, it gives a error. I will show to you what's the issue there. So on a practically we'll do that and on those cases, we need it. So where we have a complex view model multi-binding stack, especially on multi-binding. So today I'm not shared what is the multi-bindings and how we can. You just simply say what is the view model factory. So the view model factory is only learn that whenever we have a constructor with the parameters to our repository or others, so on that cases we use this view model factory. How we can do that? That is the basic thing. So we learn it practically how we can approach it. So whenever anybody say why we need it, so if our view model is more complicated and needs to be inject dependency via constructor, then we use the view model factory. Okay, and the multi-binding is very interesting topic, but today I'm not sharing it. We'll continue the tour on the second. So let's be start on our um, Android Studio. What I want to share to you, what is the view model factory approach. So let us start it. Okay, so let us start in Android Studio. So this is our Android Studio, and okay, here we have a dependency, and a dependency, whenever you extend the view model class, that means we need a lifecycle view model, live data and extensions. If you don't know, you just go for my previous tutorials in which I have described. I am putting the dagger, but I don't know use of the dagger today, just because of this is we can continue this tour. So I will put it on my second tutorial. We can use it. Okay, so let's be our main activity, and we can say it here. We just put it some IDV of this tags. uh, just say I'm not using data binding at this time, and we can say that this is a text view. Okay, just showing it because we just simply say what is the view model factory, how we can implement it. So we can make a repository. So repository always be on the package of remote. This is our, and we can say it is, if it is a user repository, that means it can communicate with your remote. That means if you want some services, web services, retrofit or other calls, you can get the things here, as I described you many times in my previous tutorials, how we can implement the retrofit with here. And we can say it here, we have two parameters, be like string name, and we can say it is password. Simple. And we create a constructor of this, and here we have one mutable data, mutable live data. I am just simply respond to with this as a string. This is our data, new mutable live data. Okay, and here you just simply get it. So go for generate and say a getter, and here just simply return it. And whenever you want to return it, you just simply say mm, here you can say that data dot set values. This is result. So it's a simple. I'm not using at this time these two parameters. Okay, and as you know, we can, in my previous tutorials we can use it, but I'm using the view model factory. So how we can do that? So first I'm simply describe it what we did in our view model classes. So here a package, this is called your view model, and in this view model we can say simply we have a user view model that we extend to view model. Okay, and here you have in a constructor user view model, and to get the things we have a public mutable live data, that is our string, and this is our result data. Okay, and here you just simply make a getter for this. This is our getter, and say okay. Okay, so that's be the scene, and what you do, you just simply say here you call your repository. Simply you can say this is your user repository and user repository, and say user repository is new user repository, and here your result data be as a user repository dot get data. Okay, so whenever we call this we can get access, and here this is your main activity, and here you can say that this is your view model, and in this view model you say user view model user view model. Okay, and simply user view model is your view model providers dot of, that means this dot get, this is our user view model dot class. Okay, so that's the scene we have done many times, and here user view model dot get result data dot observe this comma new, and here the return things we on change method, and here you just make a text view in which we have to return and show the things, and this text view is equals to your text view. But this is not a good approach, you have to apply the data bindings, but I'm just showing, so this is the basics, but will describe you perfectly with the data binding on my next tutorial. You just learned what is the view model factory today, and here you can see that text view dot set text be as s. Okay, so this is the way simply user model works. So let's see what will be the answer for this. So let us start Genymotion and get the things we have. Okay, so let's see that what happened in it. So this is our result. Yeah, so this is the result you can see on my screen. So that means this is simple dagger, sorry, a simple view model works. But how if we want to send some repository instance with this, how we can implement it? So let's see that for this. Uh, stop it. Okay, so if we have any parameters be on our user repository, be like you can say that this is public user repository, and here you have to pass string name, comma, string password, and you can say that this dot name is equals to your name, and this dot password is equals to password. Okay, so a lot of way to do this, but I'm using the um, just the factory way. Why we need it? Okay, and you can say that if name dot equals, maybe you just getting the things from your server side. Here you have some method. Those who are new in retrofit, you can watch my previous tutorials of the retrofit, so you will learn the things. And here if we say this is Peter Vishal, and that means the set value, this is the result. As yeah, success as data dot set value value. So you follow the steps one by one, because of on the second tutorial I will describe you how to map how what is the multi-binding. So here this is the way. Okay, and sometimes what happen that maybe this is the complexity arise, and you want be your view model be like that, as you can say user repository, user repository, and you can say that this dot user repository is user repository, and here you pass some values from the bindings. So make a method public void get data well, and here you need to pass things, and here you have a values be like Vishal. Maybe this is from your binding values. If you don't know what is a binding, I will describe you again. And you can see my first video where how we can use the bindings or a base observables video. Okay, so here this is the way, but you can see that here our main activity, I there be no any change in main activity. I'm not passing anything with there. So let's see the result, what happened on that is. So again, we start the emulator and see what be the result we get. Okay, so you can see that here we have a error, that is runtime exception, that our view model cannot be create these things, uh, cannot create an instance of this user model. So for this what we need, that means view model factory. How we can implement it? Let's see. Just close this. So you can implement a class that's be called a view model factory. So let's start it. Whenever you use this, that means we have to implement a view model provider. So that is the difference between the view model provider and view model providers. Okay, whenever we use this, there be a factory. Okay, alt enter, implement methods. Yeah, and you can see that we have to return our model class B here. So you can say which class we have to return B here, because of generally what happens, which class we need it with this parameter, so we inject it. But today I'm not going with that, with the dagger. I'm just simply use what is the basic of the class. Okay, so here you can see that this is your user repository and user repository. Okay, and here you have to return the things. So you can say that if your model class dot is assignable form be your user view model dot class, then what happen, you have to return t, and that is our new user view model, and this your user repository. Okay, so that means you need to pass the things be there, and this is your if, and this we have else statement in which we have to work, that means uh, throw, that is new illegal argument exception, maybe this is your unknown class. Okay, so that's the way you have to work with your view model factory. And what to do with this, the main activity, you just simply go here and say user view model factory, user view model factory, and this is your user view model factory instance, user view model factory. Same thing I will describe you with the dagger, but first learn how we can implement this. And whenever you can see that this is your providers dot, so you can pass this here your user view model factory. Okay, so that's the way. And now can see again on our journey motion, run this. Okay, so you can see the success, and before it's an important, before your get result data observe, you have to call this get data value, which we use in our user view model. So I think it's an easy concept in which we have to work, and so we have learned a lot of things related to the view model factory just with the basics. And on my next tutorial, I will describe to you how we can the multi-bindings be work, and how we can achieve the mapping and set the data. So that's the scenario, and also these two things be, that is multi-binding and your view model factory, we have to implement for your we can say integrate together with the dagger. So you continue the tour with me. Thanks a lot.